And we are back with another episode of the Hockey Princess podcast. Guys, it's the first one of 2026 of our regularly scheduled
An
Thursdays.
undefeated
An
2026.
undefeated 2026.
Yeah, that's right.
Undefeated. Just as a reminder, folks, make sure to hit that like and subscribe on either Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, YouTube, however you watch or listen to us ramble on a weekly basis. If you are going to a game this season, because we've got quite a few coming up for the rest of January before the Olympic break at home, please wait for the whistle. Do not get up all the pucks in play. Do not try to find your seat while the game is in play. And if you are going to a Hawks game or anything at the United Center, highly recommend Su Taqueria El Rey del Taco over on Ogden. The food is great, the people are great, and it's just great.
Mucho yummy.
Christy, how you feeling?
I feel fantastic. I'd like to thank everybody in the world for global warming.
Sure.
This is really nice. I'd like to thank the Hockey Princess for recording during the day.
Yes.
So
But Christy, I will say, I know you want to show off your hat, but I can't really see your face on camera.
I think most people would rather have it that way there, Hockey Princess.
All right.
So you want the hat off? Or you want me to adjust my lighting or something?
Well, that's better. Whatever that is better.
How's that?
Better.
Well, when we get our intern.
Yep, she'll just adjust it.
And yes, this is a Union Strong hat that I got out of the $10 bill, the bin hat, the $10 bin at the Hawks game because, my ticket rep refused to actually give me a Union Strong hat.
You've got it, Christy. You've got it.
I've got it. I think that's about it. I feel good. Yeah. This is going to be a great show. Great show.
This is going to have so many speed bumps. I can already tell.
Yes, I'm well rested. Yeah, you're in for it.
All right, Christy. I'm going to give you the choice so we don't have as many speed bumps. Which international competition do you want to talk about first?
I don't care what we talk about first. My only suggestion, and this is a way to show everybody that, there is no show pre-gaming to figure out this show. This is all done. I suggest we condense Rockford to a tiny little section because we have a ton of international, and I want to talk about the big club.
Oh, for sure. We weren't going to talk about Rockford.
After that, I am more than able to go whatever path you would like me to go.
All right. Well, we'll go the tourney that ended last night. Guys, I was somewhat right, slightly wrong. 2 out of the 3 that I had for predictions were correct. I was not completely off. Neither was Krusty. But
who did Krusty say would win?
We both had Sweden winning.
Ah, shoot. I was hoping I'd one up you.
No, we both had Sweden win. Me not pick a Scandinavian team? Me pick somebody that wasn't USA and Canada? Oh my God, that never happens. So World Juniors wrapped up this week. Sweden with the gold, Chechia with the silver, and then Canada showed up for the bronze game. All very, very exciting hockey. I mean, World Juniors is always exciting. It's always feisty, high stakes. And this is just another year. Congrats to truly everybody, but especially Team Sweden. This is like the first time in 12 years that they've taken gold home for the World Juniors. That is one scary ass hockey team, I will say. They went the entire World Junior Championship undefeated, and the boys very much earned gold.
Yes, I think so. Sorry, I wanted to show you that I have a personal protector in Rutu. So, for those watching, we're able to see that. She is doing nothing but making eye contact and making sure I'm safe. I did not watch a ton of it. I saw highlights. I did watch the final game. So, good hockey. I don't know where you want to start with it.
Um,
Are you planning to start with something? Did you want me to start with something?
well, what were your thoughts? Because you didn't watch as much.
I didn't. My number one thought was I wanted Frundell to have a standout tournament.
And
I
he
don't
did.
know if he was player of the tournament or not. I turned it off before that actually happened.
The MVP?
Yes.
No,
Stenberg?
no.
Who?
Um, I'm going to botch his name, so I'm going to spell it. But it's from Team Czechia. C Wojtek Chir. I'm not even going to try to pronounce it. He's a Kings prospect,
Okay.
and I do agree. He also played out of his mind.
Okay. But I know Frondell played well. So I was quite thrilled about that. The game last night, I was a little sad for our other prospect who basically had one shift where he wet the bed and gave Sweden their first goal. So I felt a little bad about that. His slashing penalty was something I understood about him doing, but then he quit on the play. Yeah. And then by the time he made it back to the net, he decided he was worried about the person scoring behind the net and not the person in front of the net. These things happen to 30-year-old players, so nothing to go crazy about. I've heard he had a good tourney also.
He had a very big physical tournament. I mean, obviously you've got the is it Czechia versus Canada that pushed Canada to the bronze medal game against Finland, where he took out the Prague kid, the Calgary prospect. It was a big physical tourney for Nestrasil.
Oh, well, that's good to know because he did not look that physical in the championship game. And I got flashbacks because physically on skates and in uniform, gosh, he looks a lot like Kevin Korchinski.
How dare you?
With the stature. So I would assume he can add a lot of beef, can he not?
Yes.
So that's another great thing to hear that he was physical the rest of the time. I didn't mind his game. I'm just telling you things that I pointed out.
I wonder if either he was maybe told to scale it back against Sweden or add more physicality specifically against Canada, because that's slowly, I would say, becoming a rivalry within this tournament is Canada versus Czechia with the past couple of years. So I wonder if he was told like, hey, we need more physical out of you against Canada, or with how fast and just absolutely ridiculous. I can't say it enough how insane Sweden is, that he was told, hey, like, pull that back against this game.
Well, first off, a rivalry happens when both teams can win. Czechia has knocked out Canada the last 3 years, so I don't think there's much of a rivalry from the Czechs all that much. Yeah, it's very possible. It's a gold medal game. So you are worried about delivering a big hit and missing by a little bit and getting out of position, especially against Sweden. So that there's a good possibility for that. So, there's some different styles there. So I could also see that. Again, very good to hear that he was physical.
No, he was definitely physical. Christy, I would like your take because, with World Juniors comes my favorite part of the year, is draft talk. And with how well Sweden has performed, I can already see it forming in your brain that you know what I'm going to ask. That, there has now become the debate of, is McKenna a lock for the number one?
Well, who's going to unlock him? Is that Stenberg? Is that number 15 for Sweden?
Yes.
Yes, definitely the most notable player. The other note is, how big is he?
Not big.
Yes. we hate to be, Krusty hates to be beaten the stupid drum of I need bigger players, but gosh darn it, at times
He's 6 foot.
Yeah, he's one of those 6-footers that, is probably borderline 6 foot. He looks smaller compared to his line mates. He definitely looks smaller than Frundell.
Well, he is smaller than Frundell.
He he played real well. He's in your top 5 conversation, right? You don't know where you're picking yet.
He's been top 5. I think prior to World Juniors, it was, and I think, and maybe it does change. I think the Verhoff situation is really going to depend on, he's going to go depending on the draft order, just because he's the top defenseman for the draft. So I don't, but I've seen Stenberg top 5, really top 3, top 4. It's kind of been McKenna, Verhoff, Stenberg, Tynan Lawrence, who is also a USHL, but it came out today that he is set to finish up the rest of the school year at BU. So he is immediately jumping to college hockey right now. Those are kind of been the names that I've seen floating about.
So I take it it's the second semester for BU?
Yeah.
So he's going to go to class or something, or is he just I think that would probably bode well for him draft-wise.
To go to BU?
Yeah. You're playing against a little bit better competition, and it'll give him a couple other things. Holy cow, Rutu went nuts.
I wonder how that is going to affect our boy Sasha, because Tynan Lawrence is a centerman, slightly bigger than Sasha, and right now Sasha's playing number 1C at BU, or like flirting between number 1C and number 2C. So I really don't think that bringing Lawrence in is going to have too much of an effect, but at the same time, you never know.
Yeah, and again, all that stuff works itself out when you leave college, you start your pro career. There's a lot of runway for Sasha.
Yeah.
As far as the Stenberg kid, yeah, he's noticeable. Besides that, I thought he was smaller. He checks all the rest of the boxes, right. And he's pretty tenacious defensively.
Yeah.
As far as the Canadian defenseman, I'll defer to you. He is no Matthew Schaefer, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So that would then put me with our defensive core. Unless we pick 5 and you've got 4 other forwards gone, and then you're looking at, there's Rutu barking at the neighbors.
The Matthew Schaefer is next year, not this year.
Okay. Because, Schaefer was one that I would have taken had you had the number 1 pick last year.
Yes.
Granted, you have a glutton of defensemen, but that's just too talented. So I don't have a problem with him. I think more will be revealed. Rutu agrees with me.
Yeah, Rutu's all on the Ivar Stenberg train.
Yes. That'll be figured out exactly where they're at. Again, Stenberg's knock is basically he's that not big, not small guy that we seem to have plenty of. And that's it. It has nothing to do with his play on the ice.
Right. Oh, and I don't think we picked number 1 this year. So I think between the teams that are bottom of the barrel right now, if in a hypothetical sense, like if Winnipeg is picking number 1, just pretending, I think there's a definite chance. I think the teams that are bottom of the barrel at this point in time, granted, we'll see what McKenna does with the second half of the year at Penn State. I would agree. I don't think it's a complete lock.
Yeah, I've read a couple other things. Did McKenna save his season just in the bronze game by putting up a ton of points? That's still a very talented player.
Absolutely.
And talent trumps a lot of things. because there's a lot of people in that middle six category that can play hockey, and you can interchange them. But the people that can play with talented people and have high end skill, that becomes a difference. So if he drops, it won't be too much.
Right.
So, and then I
think
haven't
if
seen the
he
Lawrence
drops,
kid.
he's 2. Like, to be honest, I don't.
Yeah, I think it would come down to, do you want a defenseman over him? I think as the forwards, unless Lawrence tears it up at BU.
No, I need Lawrence to drop because Lawrence is the kid I have my eye on for the Hawks.
Yeah, that's not what I'm hearing. That's a top 7 guy. What? Well, the Hawk. Oh, you're talking the Hawks' first pick. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see. Ideally, the way this should pan out is the Hawks will probably pick between 5 and 8.
Yeah.
And again, so you are stuck in that classic NHL line of best player available. And you don't care about the size. You don't care if it's redundancy. You take who's ever highest on your board, probably.
Yeah.
If they're one of the top 3, I think you can then go for need. And that would probably be a bigger player. But hey, we'll see. But the game last night was good.
Yeah.
Sweden just plays the right way.
Sweden's insane.
But there was a lot of iron hit last night.
Yeah.
I counted, there was, I think, 6 or 7 posts, which, makes everything go the different way. And I think the Czechs have Sikora or something.
Peter Sikora, Washington Capitals prospect.
He looked pretty good too.
Yeah.
So, it's the other problem with all of this, is I try to point out to Blackhawk fans before we go, oh my God, everything's perfect, is you go through the list of the World Junior, and there's a lot of teams that have big time players from that tournament. So it's not just Hawk players.
Yeah.
So, but I wish I would have watched more. Maybe I'll attempt to do that next year. But a lot of moving parts in Krusty's world, and
yeah,
I also wanted to watch more of the big club. So
yeah, I also want to give a lot of credit to Finland. Granted, the bronze game was the bronze game, but their matchup against Sweden to decide, going into the medal round. At the end of the day, that really became a goalie matchup. You had 8 rounds in the shootout, and that's how it was decided. I know Finland had a bit of ups and downs in this tourney compared to last year, but I thought Rempinen did well, and a lot of the other Finland kids. And I just wanted to, of course, obviously, I have to give props to the Finland team, but it's really hard to get knocked out of the gold medal game in a shootout.
Yeah, it's, there's no way to fix it. I'm not a fan of, number one, it automatically goes to 3-on-3 hockey. I get what they're saying is, listen, it'll go to 5-on-5 and everybody's going to play safe and nothing's going to happen. But then after those 10 minutes, then you're in the shootout. And I hate seeing the shootout, but it has its drama. I just think it's a terrible way to crown somebody.
Yeah.
But there's no alternative, right?
Yeah.
You can't, those days of making people sit there for 5 hours to watch stuff, it just doesn't work.
No.
Especially when you probably have another game on that sheet of ice coming up. So it is what it is. You gotta nail it in the shootout like Frondell did, right?
Yep. Chris, you got any final thoughts about the World Junior Championship?
No, a little sad that, with it being in the US, that was, something that wasn't gone to, but oh well, you can't get everything in this travel world.
True. Well, then we're going to jump to a different international competition because, Krusty, there was a crime committed. There was an absolute crime committed when it comes to the Olympic roster. if you're the GM, taking the guy who, as of right now, leads points in the NHL for American skaters, you would want that guy on your team, right, Krusty?
Well, it's about the right players, Hockey
And
Princess.
the guy
It's about the right players.
But the guy leading points seems like he could be a right player for that team, Krusty, doesn't it?
We've already discussed this off camera. I agree also. I've heard from, multiple outlets as this has been the one thing considered a crime.
It is.
And I would have to agree.
Jason Robertson should be in Milan. He should be playing for the Olympics for Team USA. It's absolutely insane. It's ridiculous. To be petty, I'm really waiting for, a bunch of these players to not put the puck in the net, and then everybody's looking at Billy Guerin and be like, gee, there's this kid sitting in Texas right now. You probably should have brought him with you.
Yeah. We've talked about that too. This Olympics will come down to that, at least for USA and Canada, where whoever doesn't win and can't score them more than 3 goals a game or 2 goals a game, it will be brought up. Everybody's thought process is this is going to be called like an NHL playoff game, which means there will be plenty of physicality. They will let them play physical. And that's the worry point. I'm 100% behind you. I don't get it. That's a player I want, because it's not like Jason Robertson is a tiny player.
No, he's a big guy that puts the puck in the net. Like, what about 2 + 2 is not equaling 4? You hand that was the first phone call to make. That's the first ticket to Italy to give.
Yeah.
Robertson.
As I said, it's going to come down to if either of those teams struggle to score goals,
which they will, because he's
and
not there.
And it costs them. If they struggle to score goals and they win everything 2-1, it's a non-issue. It's about the gold. But only one team can win, and it might not be either one of them. I mean, you can't discount Sweden. You can't discount Finland. You can't discount a good chunk of teams. So I believe that will rear its ugly head somewhere. But everybody has dug in, especially, we're back to the USA-Canada thing, where both groups have dug in and saying they want unbelievably defensive players to match up in rough situations or whatever. One of those teams will be wrong.
And it will be USA for snubbing Jason Robertson.
Well, I think Guerin has more to lose just for the fact of the firepower he left off that team. Where if it pans out where they struggle to score goals and can't win gold, they'll be coming for his head. Because of the team he constructed. And again, hey, there's a good possibility they win a ton of stuff 3-2 and 2-1, and he'll be paraded around.
No,
and
not on this show.
And then Billy Guerin's ego will get bigger. He might not even be able to fit in the doorway. But again, you win gold for the US of A, you can have that big ego then. So we'll see. I mean, you can always nitpick. I've seen stuff where you look at the secondary teams for USA and Canada, and they're both pretty scary. So more to be revealed. The Robertson one was the big one that I heard everybody going nuts about. You've still got Caulfield. You've got other players. And again, this stuff also could be decided in a shootout.
And oh my God, who would you want in a shootout? Jason Robertson or Vincent Trocheck? My money.
Trocheck's pretty good on the shootout. So
okay, Jason Robertson or JT Miller?
Yeah, I don't know about that. Again, I've talked, when we've talked about it as far as the USA team, I've got a big mix of those players: Anthony Cicerelli, JT Miller, Vincent Trocheck. I think it's too big of a group. I could be wrong. I'm a fan of Trocheck's. I would have kept him on the roster over Miller anyways. And I'm also a Miller fan. So, hey, everybody's made their bed now. And who knows what happens in the next 3 weeks, anyways, as far as injuries.
Finland wins with Kevin Lankinen in net.
Wow. Can you tell the Hockey Princess writes books? How's that for your storybook ending? That's not going to happen. It's going to be USA's gold.
No, they
Yep.
can't win. They can't win because they left the guy off.
Nope. Hellebuck is going to shine.
Oh, you think it's Hellebuck's net to start?
Yes. I think he is going to pull a Biddington and he will shine. His team's awful. He hasn't played the greatest, but it's all going to come together. I believe, yes, it'll be his net to start with. It will be a very short leash. They will each get games in the preliminary round. And I think then they will make a decision. So
very interesting.
Yeah.
Should all be very, very interesting. Yeah, like you said, who knows what happens with injuries. I think the Robo one just hurt the most because, like, out of the guys, no matter what country they play for, I think there were some snubs that I understood, as much as I hate to see Connor Bedard off Team Canada. Okay, I kind of get it. Like, I don't agree with it, but I understand the train of thought. Leaving Caulfield off, I understand the train of thought behind it. The Robo one is just, I just don't understand the thought process whatsoever. But it should be interesting. Yeah, that's the other big one is no Bedsy for the Olympics. Very sad.
Now, did Matthew Schaefer make it?
No.
That's
because there was some GM nepotism there.
Well, I see now. I look at that roster and I go, Drew Doughty's been a warrior, but I can easily leave him off, and I bring in Matthew Schaefer. I don't know what I'm going to get out of Drew Doughty.
Parayko.
Huh?
I switched Schaefer and Parayko.
Parayko plays better D than Doughty does. I get that. He's a big, huge body. I get some of that. But the Doughty one, I think, is based on the past, and we've talked about this a little bit on the show already, that Canada has dug its heels in to veterans. This Olympic team will be turned over 4 years from now to all of the kids.
Oh, yeah.
And it'll be their time, and that'll be freaking scary. But they've dug in and said they're going with people who played meaningful games. So, again, we'll see. There's going to be blame, and that's beautiful because that means there's drama. There's bitching, there's yelling.
Jumping before we get off of the Olympics, but away from men's hockey, because we do have some exciting announcements with Team USA's women's hockey roster was also announced this week. You've got crusty old guy's favorite, Abby Murphy, going to the Olympics. You have Layla Edwards from University of Wisconsin is going to be the first Black female hockey player to go to the Olympics for Team USA. And you have Hillary Knight going to the Olympics for the 5th time. Guys, no hockey player, regardless of gender, has gone to the Olympics for hockey more than Hillary Knight. And gosh darn it, that's incredible.
Sure is. And again, that will be must-watch television.
Absolutely.
For any USA-Canada game on the women's end. And I'm not saying don't watch the rest of it. I'm saying that is must-watch over any men's game except for the medal games. That's good stuff, man.
I am not, and Krusty can agree with this, I am not one to cheer for my own country during international competitions. I've always been cheering for Finland. The women's team will make me borderline patriotic. I am so excited to watch them play and watch those matchups, not just against obviously Team USA and Canada, but Team Finland's team is shaping up pretty nicely. You've got Sweden, you've got other countries as well. That is going to be absolutely incredible hockey.
Yeah, that's the hope, that both ends completely deliver. So fingers crossed. The NHL, I know, is putting a lot in their basket. In the PWL, and that's a way to get your league a huge boost.
Yes,
So hopefully it works out for both.
absolutely. Chris, you got anything else on the Olympic front?
I don't think so.
All right. Jumping to prospect report real quick. We kind of went over the boys that were
What about the NHL?
We're getting there.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Wow, did you hear her yell at me?
We're getting there.
She's strict on this show. I tell you. Don't mess with her setup.
We kind of talked about the World Junior boys a little bit with Frundell and Nostrasso. AJ Spellacy also had a pretty decent tourney for Team USA. Unfortunately, they were knocked out prior to the medal round, but he ended up getting some decent quality minutes for Team USA and came out with 4 points in 5 games for Team USA. Otherwise, outside of World Juniors, you've got 3 goals and 1 assist for Jack Pridham out of the Kitchener Rangers, 1 goal for Merrick Vanaker with the Brantford Bulldogs. Maybe Canada would have gone to the gold medal game if they didn't snub Vanaker. 1 goal for Parker Holmes out of Brantford Bulldogs, 2 goals and 1 assist for Nathan Bem out of the Kamloops Blazers, 1 assist for Ashton Cumbie out of Seattle Thunderbirds, 1 goal and 2 assists for John Mustard with Providence College because the college boys are back. 1 goal for Sasha with Boston University. Roman Kanserov, you're looking at 47 points in 39 games, still just absolutely tearing it up in the KHL. And then you had Adam Guyon with the Spengler Cup these past couple of weeks, had 2 games, not the greatest, but it's also a big jump for him. You know, he's not playing against college kids anymore. He's on the college kid team playing against grown men in the tourney. So you had 2 games with a .873 save percentage.
Yeah, nothing to be read in that too much. Nothing to worry about as far as the Guyon's concerned.
No, absolutely not. But happy to see that he's getting more just time to be in net. At the time of recording, Team Slovakia has not announced their Olympic roster. We have Latvia, Czechia, and France being the announcements this morning. Still waiting on Slovakia. Jumping to, we're going to Rockford real quick. We were in Hershey. There was the teddy bear toss this weekend. We came away with 1 big win for the boys and then came away with 1 loss. So split weekend, but very fun to be in Hershey. And it's always fun to watch the videos of the teddy bear toss from any AHL rank, but Hershey takes it to a whole new level. I believe that they had 87,000 plus stuffed animals on the ice. So that was always fun.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's a spectacle. All good. All good.
All right, Krusty. The NHL.
Yeah. Oh, I'm supposed to talk?
Well, you wanted to talk.
Oh, I did. I didn't have much to say. I just wanted to talk. You got anything in the NHL world?
Well, we had the Winter Classic that everybody kind of forgot about.
I forgot about it.
They were indoors in Florida. It's the Florida
Indoors?
Panthers
Outdoors?
Indoor, outdoor. It was in the new baseball barn with the roof.
Yeah.
Panthers versus the Rangers. I do understand the wanting to grow the game from the NHL aspect and capitalizing on all of this momentum of hockey in Florida. I do think it was a swing and a miss to not have it on New Year's Day, just because it's kind of been the point of Winter Classics is hockey on New Year's Day. But
Yeah, again, they're in a rock and a hard place. They can't compete with the NFL or college football, so they tried to find their niche. As I said, I did not watch. I heard a couple things about it. Um, I will also let you know I have deleted my book and my ex and my wife from my phone, so I am out of that world as I said I would be. It's just, you know, as you understand, Hockey Princess, I like to ledger things occasionally, and there just wasn't much joy from any of that stuff. It's a world I decided I should delve into. And after hanging out in the neighborhood, I decided I didn't want to be in the neighborhood.
And that's okay.
And that's okay. I'm just letting you know, so I won't have the pulse, but I did hear a lot of complaining about what the Florida Panthers did as far as their arrival and everything. This is a marquee showcase thing. The flashier everybody can be, the better. It's one game a year. It's not everybody said, oh, they needed to take it more serious. No, nobody said that about Boston when they all dressed up and won. Come on.
I think that's part of the Winter Classic is the like dress up. I had a bigger issue with their with the music performance choice during the Winter Classic.
Who was that?
Well, not just the artist, but you had Barkov and Matthew Tkachuk come out with the cup during one of the musical performances.
Yeah, I heard something about that. Barkov shouldn't be out on the stage. Hey, the guy's skating. I would assume he's walking during the day also. Okay, it's not that big of a deal. As far as the bringing out the cup, I've got different takes of that. I think that should be put in your rearview mirror. But again, I've never fought for a cup. The Hawks have done that too, where it's made its rounds during the regular season. So again, the victors goes the spoils, and if you want to show that thing off as much as possible, go ahead.
Make it through the rounds during the regular season during a game?
I am sure it did.
Because I think there's a difference between like celebrating or having an event, whatever, during the season, not in the middle of an actual game, versus.
Yeah, I'm sure it did. So I don't see a big of a problem with that. Either. Again, you're showcasing a lot of things. It's a celebration for Florida. A celebration that's probably not needed. You've grown, at least in the Miami, Fort Lauderdale area, as much as you're going to grow.
Right.
And if you look at their attendance during the regular season, you're still like, that's a 2-time cup team. And they are what they are as far as their draw. Okay. You're in Florida. There's a lot of other options.
Yeah.
So, again, I didn't watch any of the game. The Rangers, I guess, gave them a beat down. I understand that, being on the show, I should have watched, but I think I did other things. I can't remember what.
Well, to be fair, prior to that, we had gone to 3 hockey games in 3 days.
Yes, I was a little hockeyed out. So,
yeah.
And then the only other stuff I had from the NHL world and my tiny bit of notes was I wanted to credit the Hockey Princess in her talk a couple weeks ago about Philip Deneau, where you stated that he wanted out. And I was like, I have not heard that. Obviously, your sources were correct, because in the last week, yes, I heard that he wanted out also. They had reached a point to where, it just was not working, and he also wanted out. I hadn't heard anything before that. Obviously, you're much better at this than I am.
There's a reason there's a tiara sitting in my head. And
the only other thing that I heard, the Luke Hughes incident in New Jersey, which I I
hate
made a
that.
note. I made a note to watch the replays and I didn't. So I cannot go complete context, but I guess the gist of it is Jersey fans have had it with their losing, and like every other hockey base, they want a scapegoat, and I guess it was Luke Hughes.
They booed him every time he touched the puck.
That's nuts.
That's insane.
For a kid, I understand that you don't like the way things are at, and maybe you wanted his brother there too, and you've got all these things going on, but
That's insane.
I don't understand that from a fan base. I have witnessed it. We had a scapegoat for 2 years,
Yep.
and his name was Seth Jones.
And now he's the Stanley Cup champion.
But for somebody that young, it's just a little weird.
Yeah, it was definitely weird. You feel bad for the kid because it's like obviously New Jersey struggling right now is not just on one person.
Correct.
It's not. Also, regardless of the team, if you're going through consistent struggles, there is a problem, and it's not just one person, one thing. Clearly, many things are not working. I understand because I have done this myself of doing a little boo maybe after a bad period or like just a god awful game. I definitely did that, a couple of years ago when we were real bad. But there's definitely a line between showing your frustration that like to the team as a whole and specifically targeting one player.
Yes, and as I said, just somebody that young that you consider a piece and is signed for a while now is just a little weird. Hockey fans have always been that way, though. They want to pinpoint, and as you pointed out, it's never one player's problem.
No.
As of this, I haven't heard management come out and defend him like crazy. That was my problem with the Seth Jones thing. And I think it ultimately made Seth Jones just go, I got to get out of here. Because when the whole fan base turned on him, there wasn't a peep from a coach, from a GM, or anybody in the organization about him. And I think the Devils got to back him. And Nico Hirscher, somebody's got to come out. I heard Jake Allen.
He sure was vocal after the game about it, about backing him.
Again, I'm in no position to tell people how to behave at a game. I do not boo for the simple fact that I can't skate. So I consider them, and as I've said before on the show, I haven't seen a lot of players. I could count probably on two hands that I've just looked at and say they're always mailing it in.
Right.
Sometimes you just don't play well. So I thought that was a neat thing that should at least be brought up on the show for a second.
Yeah.
So, and we have a Seth Jones injury, which I don't know how long they're saying, a couple weeks.
Couple of weeks. Should be fine for the Olympics. Because also as a reminder, Seth Jones is going to the Olympics, guys. Woo,
yes.
woo.
Yeah. So, that again is what it is, but he's played really well.
Yeah.
So
So
I think that is all I had on the NHL world. I believe Nylander's out. I don't know.
Nylander's out. Shesterkin might be out. Sorokin's drawing back in.
Right. So I think that's all I've got on the NHL world.
Yeah. Well, time to talk about the big club.
Yeah.
Undefeated.
That's right. Undefeated for 2026. And let's face the facts. This is not against fluff teams.
No.
So you beat Dallas, Washington, and Vegas.
Yeah.
Just unbelievably good stuff.
Very good stuff. Huge applause and props to the Bert. I think he is really, obviously he's been stepping up, but even more so with this 2026 undefeated. Um, it's been great. There was a lot of bleeding at the end of the year, and now we've won 3 in a row.
Yep. And so, we had a nice little game on the 30th, and we went to Detroit for the 31st, and then back on the 1st to make the Dallas game. Because, yes, we are nuts. So, the Dallas game was, at the end of the day, all good. It was a 4-3, but 2 empty netters at the end of the game, or not empty netters, when the Dallas had pulled their goaltender to make it respectable. But they took it to them.
Yeah.
No doubt about
that
it.
Wasn't Otter was in net. Everybody was there. Was that the second half of a back-to-back for Dallas, though?
It was, but again, I'm big about the back-to-backs. They make a difference. But that was also the first loss for Dallas on the second of back-to-backs. So they've done this before. They occasionally I will put that as an asterisk, but not a team that's this good. That's a win.
I was definitely concerned just because we had beaten them less than a week prior. So you kind of feel like it's going to get under Dallas's skin. Like whenever you beat a good team, it's going to get under their skin that they lost to a team that is less than them and maybe come out swinging in a bit more for the second game, especially with playing them so recently. We saw that with what was it, Los Angeles at the beginning of December. So I was kind of expecting a little bit more push from Dallas, but yeah, just all around the boys played very well.
Yeah, and it's been the beginning of the coming out party for Artie. There are people noticing now.
Oh my gosh, it took them long enough.
And I'll get to that when we talk about the last game of this, but all good. Mickey Mouse playing really well. Bert, I'll talk about at the end of the show if you're okay with that.
That's fine.
But yeah, and especially Dallas got spanked the night before. I mean, they got humiliated in Dallas. So that's a team that was wanting it, and you were still able to beat them. So that was a huge win. And then you go to Washington and you take care of business there.
Well, you take care of business by taking out Tom Wilson. That definitely helps.
Well, sure, it doesn't hurt, but again, that's a decent club. I understand, they're going through their struggles just like Vegas, but still, that's a top half team on the road. I don't care how you look at it. Another really good win, a good game by Bloom. I believe the Bloom crazy talk has completely been switched off now.
Yeah, give it a week. People really like to jump back to that one.
Yes.
And I think we definitely saw it with this first matchup because, we had our Washington Capitals enthusiast on this week.
Oh, she was fantastic.
To talk about the Caps. Fantastic as always. We love having her on.
Yes, she gave really good insight, especially to there was a couple of defensemen that I really wasn't too aware of that she made sure to call out. One of them I decided to pick up on my fantasy teams and has been helpful.
There you go. But I think you definitely saw that with the Washington Capitals game because, she mentioned that special teams are definitely an issue where I feel like the Blackhawks have the opposite of their power. I mean, their power play is hot and cold, but it definitely can be hot. And the penalty kill has been one of the more consistent things. And it's 5-on-5 hockey that's actually just the odd man out right now. And I think you were able to see special teams shine more during the Washington Capitals game. And I think it also really helped the boys have, just a decent momentum with getting one in so early in Washington.
Yes, that was helpful again. good amount of their scoring coming from veterans.
Yeah.
Your Tavo, your Burt, your Donato, which is all good, but they play
Grandpa Nick. We got to shout out Grandpa Nick with the shootout.
Yeah. I like Bash and Pop keeping everything loose. The fact that his number 4 shooter was Big Lou in the shootout. And he had the right move, just lifted it a little too much. He had him beat. I believe there was a calling out as far as Vlasic and Big Lou to play more physical. And I believe Creature has picked up his physical play. I would like this question asked by somebody with credentials to ask questions. But I also notice from the fan base a little bit of they need to clear out the front of the net. And they have to be more physical and clear out the front of the net. And I'm a true believer in Bash's Pop's system. He does not want them doing that unless he's positive they can get in and move the player and get out. If not, it's 2 players taking away the eyes of the goaltender. I believe they're more like the cup teams of the Hawks where they said, let him be in front, but you make sure you take care of that stick on the rebound.
Yeah.
You take care of the garbage if there's garbage there. So I think we can let off as far as, these guys are so huge. They should be able to clear. It's really hard to clear the crease.
Yeah.
Okay. And I don't think it's in their game plan to set it up that way. I don't think they want their goaltender losing eyes. You watch that from the Hawks, especially their fourth, most of their lines now with Nazar and Bedard being gone. There's 2 people and everybody's battling them. So their goaltenders can't see anything. So, but I thought Creech's physical game came along and, Grandpa Nick with the game winner.
Yeah.
So, another great game. And then we got the Vegas game.
Yeah. Which is Burt. And
of course, it's the beginning of the what is it? The cup celebration or what are they calling it?
Years.
The banner years, yes. And of course, what better way to start out the banner years than the first goal scored by somebody who's won some banners in a Brandon Saad.
Yeah.
Who has, I will give my props to him. He left money to just get out of St. Louis and finds a role in Vegas in the bottom 6 and is still playing meaningful hockey games. My props to Brandon Saad, just wanting to play hockey and playing important games. Made enough money. Good for him.
Yeah.
And they played real well again. Anytime you can hold a team to just 15 shots on net, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Defensively, they look pretty good. And, backboard Burt scored from like 15 feet out to start us off. What more could you ask for? And I really enjoyed the overtime goal.
Yeah.
Because all of those people wondering what this Artie party is about, if you can watch the replay of the plays that led up to the goal,
it's very similar to his Dallas goal, I will say.
You watch Artie bait. Artie slows down a little bit behind his own net, and he baits Jack Eichel to be more aggressive and get the puck from him. He shakes off Eichel enough to where the other Vegas player pinches in saying, I've got him. And this is what Artie does. Artie baits you. Artie's a gambler. And all he did, nice little flip out, and then a 2-on-1 the other way. They didn't score on the original 2-on-1, but another 5 seconds later, they scored. That is Artie to a T.
Artie.
He wants people to draw in. With that, occasionally it's going to go bad.
That's okay.
It's
That's
going
okay.
to happen. It's okay. But that is how he plays. When I was watching that unfold, that's all I could think of, because it looks so intentional what he did to Eichel. And Jack's a pretty solid player.
Yeah, baiting Jack Eichel is no small feat.
Right. And to be able to fend him off. And then it's still willy-nilly enough that other Vegas player thought for sure he was getting the puck. And that didn't happen either. It was classic Artie. I really enjoyed it. And then, of course, Bert with the goal of, it looked like it was never even going to go in. It just kind of hung out there. But that was a great game ending. It was pretty mucky the rest, but that's a dirty win. But that's a win against the Vegas Knights.
Yeah.
There's no way you can't get excited about all of this except for the fact that it's the NHL. Because you're going to turn around and you're going to go play Dallas, St. Louis, and Nashville. And if you lose those games, none of this frigging matters. It's all forgotten, right?
Yeah.
It's completely forgotten. So it's a show-up league.
Gosh,
so
they don't lose in Nashville.
Right. And I did want to resurrect the Krusty's Corner if I could.
Oh, of course. Of course.
And so in the corner, just to show you that the corner is not always about shame.
Okay.
Okay. It's not about anger. Sometimes it's about love. Sometimes it's about putting people on the pedestal. And I wanted to go the extra minute for Bert.
Bert.
And so your listeners, anybody still listening at the 56-minute mark of this show, it's not about goals for me at times. As I mentioned on either the last show or the show before, Bert really solidified things for me this year in the Pittsburgh game.
Yeah.
Through his leadership. And we had talked about it a little bit. You said you have come around to him.
I've come around to Bert. I will admit, I've come around to Bert.
But in that Pittsburgh game, they were out of it.
But except him.
And he sat there and showed the kids that this is the NHL.
Yeah.
There's no packing it in whatsoever. Really good teams in the NHL who know their cup contenders occasionally will pack it in and give it one more little effort and then go, hey, it's just a regular season game. Live to fight another day. The Hawks are not in that situation. They need to show up all the time. And I thought what he did in that Pittsburgh game again was to show all those kids, we don't start taking the easy route in the third period because this game's out of hand. We don't stop playing the right way. And I thought it was a great leadership move. I was just impressed with it. And then his goals just continue to come. So I'm a fan. I like what he's doing. I hope it all continues. But I wanted to just bring back the corner for a second and make it a good, happy corner, because this has been a good, happy stretch.
It is. It's been very happy.
So that's about all I had about the corner. And again, you can talk about what you're doing this weekend, but we got 3 more roughies coming up.
Guys, I'm venturing to Bridgestone. I'll be in Nashville Saturday for this Blackhawks versus Preds game. If anyone, because I'll throw this out on the socials for more than just our listeners, if anyone has gone to a Nashville game or even just been to Nashville and has any recommendations on what do I do? I'll be there for 24 hours. Truly, I think I fly in at 10 a.m. and fly out at 10 a.m. Or if there's something I need to try in the Bridgestone, let me know. This will be my first time in Nashville, first time at Preds game. I'm very excited, especially because new rink. Who doesn't love going to a new rink? It should be a very exciting weekend.
Yeah, and again, I will say it. The team's on a nice roll.
Yeah,
and it's all forgotten. These are 2 rivals, and probably the top two teams that the fan base does not like to lose to.
Yeah.
You hate losing to the Blows and you hate losing to Trashville.
Yep.
So it's a big one. Fingers crossed they show up.
Yeah.
So
should be very exciting. Chris, you got anything else for this week?
No, I think I'll be able to watch games. Krusty's, taking off to Vegas, so I've got gambling to do and shows to watch and be part of that scene.
Yeah.
So, if you're at the Golden Nugget later on this week, come by and see Krusty. And that's right. Krusty is staying at the Golden Nugget. I don't know how I got my woman to agree to that.
Sure.
She's she's somebody who stays at nice places, but I'll give you a review of that.
Nugget.
Mm-hmm. That's all I got.
All right, friends. Just as a reminder, make sure to hit that like and subscribe on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, YouTube, however you watch or listen to us ramble on a weekly basis. You are going to a hockey game this season, any hockey game at all. Please wait for the whistle. Do not get up while the puck's in play. Please do not try to go find your seat during game play. If you are going to anything at the United Center this year, highly recommend Su Taqueria El Rey del Taco over on Ogden. The food is great. The people are great. And it's all great. That is all. And we will talk at you guys next week.